Coast to coast, Amazon workers are on the picket line fighting for a slate of labor demands. The Teamsters Union launched the walkouts at several locations right at the peak of the holiday shopping season.
Workers are calling on Amazon to come to the table and hash things out. And ABC's Trevor Ault has the latest details from one picket line in Queens, New York.
Hey, Eva and Will, so there are about 50 delivery drivers who are on the picket line here outside this Amazon facility in Queens. This is one of several strike sites across the country. You can actually see as the picketers go by, we have Amazon vans behind them in the facility that are loading up with packages, preparing to go out and make their delivery. So a lot of these drivers have joined the Teamsters Union. They're trying to force Amazon to the negotiating table. They want better wages, better working conditions. The issue is Amazon does not recognize the Teamsters as a union that represents their employees, and they refuse to meet them at the negotiating table. They also accuse these picketers, or at least most of them, of being outsiders, because a lot of them do technically work for a third party, even though that third party often only has Amazon as a client. They wear Amazon clothes. They often drive Amazon delivery vans. Now, Amazon insists, as the picketing is ongoing, their delivery schedule has not been disrupted, and all their customers can still count on their packaging arriving. But the picketers believe they can cause some major issues at a critical time for deliverance. Guys.
All right, Trevor, thank you for that. Joining us now from Burbank, California is Teamsters General President Sean O'Brien. Sean, thank you so much for being with us. I'm curious, this is the second day of the workers on the picket line. What are you hearing from those workers today?
Well, we're hearing some success stories. We are slowing the package down. We're stopping packaging, but more importantly, we are letting the general public know that it's not the workers' fault that we are on strike. It's Amazon's fault. They know what they're expected to do. They're hiding behind a DSP model where they're a joint employer, and they're refusing to sit down and bargain, those members that chose to be members of the Teamsters. And their argument is contradicting, because if they're saying on one hand that they're not the employer, well, what about JFK? What about the other locations where the direct employees inside organized 2.5 years ago, and their refusal to sit down and bargain a contract with the Teamsters Union now? So the message is convoluted and inconsistent. Our goal here is to make sure we represent these workers, make certain that we get them the best wages, and Amazon needs to come to the table. They need to come direct and be held accountable.
What is your response to Amazon, the statement that Amazon released accusing the Teamsters of threatening and coercing workers to join the strikes?
Well, I think they're describing themselves and how they treat their employees with threats and intimidation. We clearly are not doing that. Amazon has a history. They've paid over $17 million in 2022 and 2023 with strikebreakers and consultants to coerce and intimidate their workers not to join the union. So that's a false narrative. That's fiction, and they have to. And we're going to prove them wrong.
Amazon hasn't come to the table at this point. What's the next move if they continue to not do that?
Well, I mean, we are fighting them legally through the National Labor Relations Board. We're just going to keep taking direct action. Right now, we have 149 locations out on strike, and we're going to continue to grow. As a result of what we've done over the last 24 hours, a lot of Amazon DSP facilities and direct employees have reached out wanting to join the Teamsters. So this is a movement, this is a momentum, and it's going to continue to grow. We're not going away. You know, what Amazon has is a $2 trillion pocketbook. We clearly don't have that amount of money, but we have sweat equity. We've got courage and conviction, and we're going to take on this fight, and we're going to take them down.
Now, you're deep into this. This is taking up a ton of your focus, but there are a lot of people, a lot of our viewers who are just thinking about getting to Christmas. They want to get gifts under the tree. They might not even be aware that there's a strike going on, and they want to know where their packages are. What is your message to everyday people who are going to get frustrated about a potential holdup on the delivery of the gifts for their family?
Look, the reality is, if there's a finger to be pointed, it's at Amazon. And look, we are trying to secure the best wages and best conditions for these workers, and we've got to use our leverage. Unfortunately, it may come at inconvenience to the consumer, but the consumer also has to remember during COVID, when they were getting packages delivered, providing goods and services. These are the same Amazon employees that were making certain total disregard to their own safety and the safety of their families. They were making certain that the general public was provided with the necessary goods and service they need to survive. So if I was going to say anything to these consumers, be patient, but also make certain that Amazon's the one that caused this issue, not the drivers, not the Teamsters Union.
All right, Teamsters General President Sean O'Brien, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you a happy holidays.